Okay, folks, welcome back. Um, so, in the previous part of this tutorial, we've managed to select our Tuscan farmer. We've created a selection as a new layer with a layer mask. That's important. I'd like us now to just take a look at that layer mask, just as an extra step to make sure that the layer mask is as good as it could be. So let's do this. If you hold Alt on your keyboard and click over here, there's the layer mask. Click inside the thumbnail of the layer mask. Now, that looks pretty good to me, but if we zoom in, I know this is a pixelated image somewhat, but I can show you now little areas, look, where there are a few grey pixels, a few black pixels within the white in particular. Okay, look at the hat up here, right up at the top of the hat, there and there. That's bits where the selection hasn't been particularly well made. If we zoom around the image, dragging our box in the navigator, yeah, there, you can see the hairy arm. That's pretty good, isn't it? Really good. But we've got a little bit of a black line in there that we could possibly live without, and a little black grey area there that we could live without. That's the hairy arm, so that's okay, but the shirt has got a little bit going on. Not much. You probably wouldn't ever notice this. Little area in there, yes. Little area in the little point of the hat there. Look over here. You can see in particular. As with our replace sky, one of the ways of dealing with this would be to take a brush tool over here, the brush tool, to make sure we're painting with white. Make our brush tool small enough to deal with these areas without running the risk of going into the black. So I'm literally going to paint white very carefully over some of these more intrusive bits, just to be sure that when we finally come to do our nice big print of an image, it's all good. Okay, see the little bits up at in the hat there. I'm not going outside of the white area at all. I'm just knocking back anything that's within that area. A little bit down there in particular, look, by the sleeve. I don't want that at all. That's not good. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. If there are other bits that you want to sort out, feel free to make that as tidy as you can. But as I say, be careful. You're painting white here. You don't want to paint white out here, look, because you're going to ruin your layer mask. So be careful. I'm going to go Edit, Undo Brush Tool, and just bring it back into there. Once you've got that sorted out to your liking, the way to come back into the image away from the layer mask, because that's what we're looking at, is to click on the image thumbnail next to the layer mask, and just for safety click back onto the layer mask, because that's, you wouldn't want to do anything to spoil that. Okay, our next job is to move the farmer from here onto the Tuscan sunflower image. We need our move tool, which is the top tool, that multi-directional thing. And we're going to click with it, yes, I'm bringing it into my image, I'm going to click right in the center of the farmer. I'm going to drag upwards until my cursor goes over Tuscan sunflowers. I'm still holding the pressure on. I'm going to drag downwards, and once I'm inside the flower image, I'm just going to let go. And hey presto, there's our man. Okay? Now, clearly, he's cut off at the bottom because he went off the bottom of the picture. So he needs to go off the bottom of this picture. I can put him wherever I like. Yes? But he needs to be touching the bottom of the picture, otherwise he'll look like he's been chopped in half and hung in space. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place him between these sunflowers and just below the house. So you could have him there, you could have him there, but it's quite nice that he's surrounded by these two and he's not quite in the center, and the direction of his gaze is towards the space. Might just move him a little bit that way. So place him where you need him to. Okay? And once he's in place, we can then start to add a last layer of interest. So I'm going to cut this one short at this stage, as it's quite a good place to stop, and I'll come back with part 3. See you soon, folks.